looking back, I think you should consider it the moment that you're like, wow, I'm going to be friends with this guy forever because he didn't walk away. And it was when
I know what you're talking about. This is the eggs.
Yes, we were throwing eggs at cars.
Hold on. We got to set this up. All right.
We had set up some rules, if you remember. The rules were something to the effect of.
I don't remember this rule. I know where you're going.
The rule was don't throw it at cars that have tinted windows.
No, you said it after I threw it. You said it after. So we're standing on the corner. And I mean, we had just gone out. It had just gotten dark. We've got a whole dozen eggs. And we're like, all right, And the big thing was, when those big buses kind of drove by, we were throwing out the bus. It was impossible to miss because they're so massive. And the dude's not going to stop.
Trouble because the guy wasn't stopping, right?
Yeah, he wouldn't stop because he's got his route to do, right? So, but that got boring after a while. So we're standing on the corner, a 12-pack of, a dozen eggs. And this car kind of pulls up and he's going to make a left, and kind of drive away from us on the corner. And I hear you grumble something to the effect of like, oh, no, like that.
I probably said, remember the golden rule.
No, we never talked about this beforehand. Anyways, he turns. And I don't have the best aim in the world, but this night I was freaking Dwight Gooden because I nailed it from probably 30 yards out. He had turned and sped away. And I let that thing go, and it nailed his driver's side window like perfectly. And we heard the poof, and we both looked at each other. And we went, "Oh shit!" And then the brake lights came on, and we were like, "We got to get the hell out of here."
The braking and the screeching is what really triggered.
And then we gotta go. We hightailed it.
Yeah, and the fucked up thing about that is, you're a lot faster than me. So I'm the fat kid running behind, and you're gone. So go on.
So we ran back up to my house, and this is where it gets really stupid. We were up in my house and we looked at each other and we were like, we have like 11 eggs left. What are we going to do? And this was like after 10 minutes, we're like, oh, let's go back down.
To me, that was totally enough time. I'm like,
what were we thinking?
I'm like, if somebody threw an egg at my car, I would look for them for 5 or 10 minutes. I couldn't find them. I would leave, right? That's what we thought would happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
So we go back down and we start walking to the exact fucking same spot. I question, telling this story, like, how freaking stupid were we? We walked down to the exact same spot.
That's
right?
That's like rule number one of any bad TV show you've ever seen is you don't return to the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Right. And so, we went back.
So anyways, so we see this couple walking down the street and we don't even think twice of it.
And At the time, they look like a lovely couple just strolling hand in hand, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
It happened to be hand in bat.
So they get close to us and the guy stops and he sees us and he says, have you guys seen anybody throwing eggs? And I literally have 2 eggs in my hand at when he says this. So, and there's a car right next to us. So I kind of kneel down like I'm going to tie my shoe and I start rolling the eggs underneath the car so I don't have them in my hands. And we're like, oh, no, man, no, I haven't seen anybody eggs. And before I even could finish the sentence, the dude had scaled the fence and come up to us and grabbed me. And he must have saw me throw the egg because he didn't even go for you. He went straight for me and he pulls a bat out of his jacket. And the bat is it's like a mini baseball bat that's maybe 2 feet in length. And it's got nails all around it coming out of it. It was like
from
some
the Walking Dead
Negan from Walking Dead. Yeah.
So I think what happened was when he said, did you see anybody? I think we gave conflicting answers is what happened. I think you said no. And I was like, they went that way. I think that's what happened. And you said he scaled that fence. Like Spider-Man would have been proud how quickly he scaled it. It was a 6-foot fence. It wasn't.
We didn't even have time to react.
Yeah.
That's how quick he scaled it.
All right,
and he grabbed me and then he dragged me.
And as you said, he didn't go after me. He didn't grab me. I was just kind of there now at this point. Yeah. I'm an observer, just like this guy's girlfriend was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then he drags me a block and a half down the street to where he parked his car. And then he shoves my face into where the egg was on.
Hold on. So as he's dragging you down the street, I am now walking with his girlfriend as if her and I are dating. And she's going on. And I think at that time I was still trying to deny. I'm like, I don't know what happened. I'm like, I don't know why he's acting like this. Like, we had nothing to do with this. But I remember being a good 5 or 10 feet behind you, but I still walked with you. And that's why, like I said, before you had your egg souffle in a minute that you'll talk about, you should have been like, man, I'm going to be friends with this guy forever because I could have left.
So he gets me to the car and he throws me up against the car and he starts and this guy's like, I don't want to say he's twice my size because he's not. I mean, we were pretty tall as kids, but he's bigger than us. He's clearly older than us. We weren't old enough to drive. And he shoves my face in the eggs and he's like, he's like, look it. And I'm like pretending to like lick the eggs. I'm like, oh geez, how do I? And immediately my mind is like, all right, wait, where's the exit in this whole scenario? Where do I go? So I don't know what actually caused him to be like confused or he stopped for a second, but I just kind of shoved him away and I started running.
Now, this is the part where I don't know why I'm still friends with you. Because after you shrugged him off and you started running, he turned around and took a swing at me. Now he's like, well, this is the next best thing. This guy's still here. So if I remember, I think he grazed me. He definitely didn't hit me squarely. I don't remember if he hit contact at all or not, but he swung at me then. And then that's when you and I both ran off.
Yeah, we ended up running together and we jumped through some yards and made it back to my place. But I remember that night very specifically because it was the night the Mets were in the playoffs playing the Dodgers. I think it was like the '88 World Series. And they had lost that night and the Dodgers went to the World Series that year. That was the Kirk Gibson year where with the walk-off home run.
No,
but
I think I blocked everything else around that night out.
I remember distinctly all the things that happened that night because it was so dramatic.
Why didn't we stay in and watch the fucking baseball game?
I have no idea. We just did some really stupid things.